We're back! Matt Kudrowski and Simon Johnstone here in Cave Arena in the Mize Athletics Center on the Denver's campus of Piedmont University. If you're noticing, the stands are a little bit more filled. Your observations would be exactly accurate because it is Alumni Day here for Piedmont men's basketball. That means anybody who's shown up here at any point in time in their collegiate careers is here. And as Coach Greg Neely, head coach of Piedmont men's basketball, had said when I spoke with him earlier this week, he said he expects the arena to be loud and to be packed. And it looks like Neely is getting his wish today. Everybody is here filling up the stands here in Cave Arena. And oh my goodness, they're going to need it because they are facing the visiting Berea College Mountaineers, who come into this game 20-2, 12-1 in conference. They have been absolutely lights out. Actually, that looks like
women's.
That's the women's one. Whoopsie daisy. Looking at the wrong guide. Berea comes into this match 13-9 overall with a conference record of 5-4. Meanwhile, for the Lions, currently in the bottom third of the standings. Berea is just above them, but the Lions coming into this game at 12-11 at a 5-5 conference record. So the Lions currently sit one game back from the men's Mountaineers. And when you are the Piedmont men's basketball team, you have had 2 losses at home the entire season, and it's all come from the new year. You lost against Belhaven and you lost against LaGrange. So when you have the home court advantage, and it's an evident advantage at that, on what's going to be the loudest, arguably the loudest night you're ever going to see all season, and you have a chance to move up in the rankings, to possibly move from the bottom third to the top third. How does that feel when you're going into this game and you feel like you have such a humongous advantage?
It's the greatest situation that the Lions can find themselves in. As you mentioned, a packed arena, not just with alum, but with current students as well. There are a couple events going on like women's softball, but it is jam-packed inside of the Mize Arena, and what's such a great opportunity today for them to move up in conference standings. They're taking on a team that does have some serious talent. One of the most notable players is Isaac Caudill. Yesterday evening, when he played against LaGrange, he put up a team high of 23 points. So there's going to be a couple of players that the Lions are going to have to keep an eye on to shut down. But with the camaraderie and with the power that they have at every position, I do like the Lions' chances to make a move up the conference standings come the end of this game.
Here's something to keep in mind. Berea is no cupcake. They are a hard cookie, and they just came off a win against what was the #1 team in the country, and not in the country, but in the conference. And the reason why I say is because that loss actually bumped them from the 1 seed down to the 2 seed. And now Berea currently riding a 2-game winning streak after having generated 2 games so far on this 3-game road trip so far. They got to win at Huntington, winning 74-68, and then they go into LaGrange and win by a final score of 80-73. And LaGrange has looked sound all year. Now they come into Piedmont, where it is the toughest home arena to play in all conference. So if you're Berea, how do you come into such a hard-nosed place like Cave Arena? You got the Cave Crazies, you got the alumni. It's going to be loud, it's going to be bumping. How do you face that? It
is going to be a difficult task for the Mountaineers to deal with, but they just need to stay within themselves. They don't want to do anything to entice and incite the crowd, but rather just drive with your team, try and make sure that everyone knows they have each other's back. And the stronger your team chemistry is, which will always be shown in away matchups, that is the biggest key to success when you're traveling to a different arena. And this matchup was a fantastic one last time when Berea hosted the Lions. They played on January 15th of this year, and it was a 2-point win for Berea. 71-69 was the final score. So if that's any indication of how this game's going to go, we are in for another thriller.
Speaking of thrillers, that's a buzzer, and with that means our starting lineups will be hitting the floor. Let's go through them, and let's start with the Lions. All right, take it underway, Mr. Johnstone. You're going to do the Lions.
So for the Lions here today, the two guards are going to be Noah Reardon and Ryan Jolly, a dynamic backcourt who can stretch the floor. On the forwards position, you have Will Richter, one of the biggest stretch threes you will see, a sniper from long range. He's paired with Devin Dean, one of the most physical players in all of the CCS. And at the 5 is Andrew Stimpson, a powerful jumper to say the least.
And out there for the Berea College Mountaineers, number 4, Trey Minter, number 5, Isaac Cottle, and number 12, Marquise Mackey. Those will be making up your backcourt, and over your two forwards will be Jarrell Montgomery and Bryce Riley. So the top 5 players on this roster as far as points are concerned will be hitting the court for the Mountaineers. Meanwhile, for the Lions, we've basically seen this same starting 5 all season long, and they sure do know how to show out, I will say that.
Absolutely, and you know, the head coach isn't afraid to rotate in some players. Palmer, who we will see off the bench likely early, one of the tallest players on that Lions roster, is a dynamic center himself, and he's seen a few instances of playing, being a starter, but as of right now, he's going to be coming off the bench with their starting 5 being announced right now.
And I must add, friend of the Mass Communications Department, that's my department. And now as the Lions take the floor, Berea sporting the all-white uniforms with blue stripes down the side, blue numbers, and blue writing across the chest. Meanwhile, for the Lions, wearing the, I guess you could say, stone gray with the green stripes down the side, green writing across the chest, and green numbers.
The Lions, a team full of agility and speed. They are an aggressive bunch who are going to look to push the tempo at every given opportunity. You will see them in many sets, in many zones, in many presses. And so Berea is going to have a lot to think about when they're in possession of the ball, because those Lions come out of every corner of the court looking to take away any free ball that is sitting their way.
And as we get set, the teams take the court. Andrew Stimpson coming up for the tip-off. Meanwhile, on the other side for Berea, it'll be number 12, Marquise Mackey. Lions will be moving left to right. Mountaineers moving right to left. Lions will win the tip-off as Jolly will handle it off the tip-off from Stimpson. Jolly will take it across the timeline, and we are underway here in the first half. Jolly going to drive inside, back out. He's going to get the kick out to Richter. Richter going to circle around, looking for his teammates to get set. Gets good feet to Devin Dean inside the arc over in the right corner. Devin Dean with his turnaround J. That one just rims out, rebounded by Reardon. Reardon tries to get the puck back to go. That one doesn't go. Rebounded by Montgomery. Minter with possession of the ball right now for the Mountaineers. I've seen this guy play before. He definitely does know how to score. He's their team's leading scorer. Jump shot fired by Cottle. It'll be just short, and the Lions will come up with the rebound.
And that backcourt of Cottle and Minter going to give the Lions a lot of problems if they can get going. Two dynamic scorers who are both capable of putting up over 20 points. So interesting how the Lions are going to have to deal with that.
And actually a correction, the rebound actually goes to Berea as they will inbound the pass and get started offensively yet again. Right now it's a feed down low to Cottle. Looking for a kick out to Minter. Richter gets a hand of it. Minter still has it. 1 second left on the clock. That shot had no chance of sniffing that iron. That will be a shot clock violation, and the Lions will have possession due to some stingy defense.
Strong start for the Lions defensively. They do run that patented 2-1-2 zone, something that they are well known for doing. It is a good zone when you have such active players with both their hands and their feet, always looking to get some picks off the ball.
Reardon will feed it to Dean. Dean will attack the basket, shakes the man, gets it to go off the glass and in. That's a great way to get the first bucket of the game. Devin Dean is an absolute force when he attacks the basket. He doesn't bring much size as far as forwards are concerned, but he brings a lot of power when he attacks that basket. Minter trying to hold on to it. Jolly also trying to get a hand on it. We'll finally have a whistle. Looks like it'll be a foul called. Berea will hang on and inbound the pass. It will go to Minter. Trey Minter with the give over to Montgomery. Montgomery over to Cottle. Cottle attacking the basket. He's going for the cross pass to Riley. Riley with the shot. That one will go from the left corner. Jolly will feed it to Reardon. Reardon to Simpson from the right corner. Simpson will charge at the basket. Feed inside to Dean down low, and Dean gets the finish off the glass. 4-0. Lions coming right out of the gate.
Great job by the Lions cutting inside early. You have some backdoor cuts going down with the three-point line, and when you have those dynamic shooters stretching the floor, it is almost impossible to deal with Devin Dean and Stimson inside.
Bryce Riley will attack the basket after circling around. That one won't go. Feed up for Stimson. Stimson for the layup, and Stimson gets the finish. 6-0 Lions. They are on fire right now. 3 of 5 from the floor. Meanwhile, for Berea, 0 for 3. Silence as far as offense is concerned, and that's pretty uncharacteristic for them.
Yeah, and when you're coming into an away game and taking on such a packed crowd like Cave Arena is, this is not how you want to get your beginning of the game underway. So a lot to think about for the Mountaineers to try and mount a small comeback at the beginning of this game. And for the Lions, nothing needs to change. They're doing great defensively, giving them constant pressure, and on offense, they are quick to jump out to every given opportunity they see.
Lions starting off hot, 3 of 5 from the floor, shooting 60% so far. Meanwhile, for Berea, they've taken a shot from downtown. That one wouldn't go. And the remainder 2 shots, just 2 layups that have not gone in. Trey Minter will start it for Berea. Give it over to Cottle. Isaac Cottle circling around. He's covered by Jolly, and there's the feed off to Montgomery. Montgomery going to kick it out to Riley. Riley with the shot, rebounded by Richter. Still nothing for the Mountaineers. Devin Dean in the right corner right now for the Lions. He's looking for the kick out to Richter. Richter going to make a miss as he attacks the basket. He's going to spin around, turn around. Jay blocked up front by Montgomery. Minter's going to come down with it. Richter tries to knock that one away, and it looks like they will call Richter for the foul for getting a little bit more than orange peel on that.
Little too aggressive on the recovery there, and good job by Minter to kind of shield Richter away in order to draw the foul to close out that offensive possession.
That'll be Richter's first personal and the team's first so far here in the first half. Mountaineers getting set. It's Riley. He's going to dish it left to Montgomery. Montgomery attacking the basket. He shakes off Reardon off with a shove, and it looks like he'll be called for it. Actually, no, it'll go down as a shooting foul. And it looks like that will be called on Noah Reardon. And Noah Reardon says, I don't know how he can call it on me. I got pushed. So, Gerald Montgomery with his first free throw attempt here. That one rims out. Not even the free throws are sinking for the Mountaineers right now. Still a giant goose egg on the scoreboard as now they go to shoot 2. A chance to get their first point. And that one doesn't go either. Rebounded by Devin Dean. Goodness gracious. I don't know if there's a see-through lid on that goal for the Mountaineers, but nothing seems to be going for them right now. Stimson will attack the basket. Feed inside to Reardon. Reardon with the lay-in, and it'll go as it spins around the toilet bowl before it flushes. Great. 8-0 Lions right now.
Fantastic cut by Reardon, seeing Stimson draw 2 defenders. He knew he was going to be open for that cut inside and got the easy lay because of it.
Minter will step away and shoot, and that one goes, and that's just what I expect from someone like Trey Minter. I mentioned that he can pretty much score from anywhere. There it is right there. He kind of reminds me a lot of Ryan Jolly. can really attack the bucket any way he likes to. Devin Ing will attack the basket. He gets his own rebound. Actually went for a tip-in before getting his own rebound. He's surrounded by 3 Mountaineers, and Gerald Montgomery will come out on top of it with the possession of the ball. Montgomery attacking the basket. This time he gets the finish, so I guess Trey Minter's jump shot really got that offense going. They've already cut the Lions lead in half. They're down by 4. Screen set by Dean. Jolly comes inside. He'll pull up from the charity stripe, and that one just sinks in nicely. Ryan Jolly gets his first bucket of the day now. It's a battle between the starting 5 right now. And both starting 5 squads have been absolutely fabulous up to this point. Midger will pull up from the left corner for 3. That one hits the side of the rim. It will go out the schnoz of Bryce Riley. And it looks like possession will actually go to the Mountaineers, and the Lions looking to argue that call. Neely's trying to argue that the ball went off of the forehead of Bryce Riley. But it looks like the officials aren't hearing his case there.
Yeah, a bit of a weird instance there. Could be a missed call, bad angle by the referees, but nevertheless, we're going to see a bit of a change in the lineup. For the Lions, it looks like Palmer's going to be checking in for Devin Dean, and that is going to add some height to their lineup, something that Berea doesn't really have. They're not the tallest group of guys, but they are built like an ox, so it's going to be interesting if Palmer's going to be able to utilize that height to his advantage down low. But a strong start overall by the Lions so far. Their lead is at 6 with multiple layups and cuts, giving them the opportunity to score some early and easy buckets.
So far, the Lions 5 for 9 from the floor, shooting over 55% from the floor. Meanwhile, for Berea, they've only seen 2 shots go down out of the 7 they've taken. They're shooting 28.6% right now. As they break the huddle, Berea will start with possession. It looks like Montgomery will inbound the pass for the Mountaineers. Montgomery will give it to Minter. Minter's over on the other side of the timeline. That one goes off the foot of Will Richter. That'll be a kick ball violation. Possession will stay with the Mountaineers, and Montgomery will inbound the pass yet again. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Minter will take the inbound pass. Give back to Montgomery, and now to Cottle. Minter from the top of the key right now. He's double teamed. Kicks it out to Cottle, and Cottle can't see that one go. Rebounded by the Lions. Jolly has it right now for Piedmont. He's going to charge inside. Looks for the high pass to Palmer down low. Palmer tried to go up for it. I think he was expecting that pass to go to a different place, as that one just a little outside of his reach, possibly a little miscommunication there, but the Mountaineers will end up with the ball. Trey Minter has possession right now. He's going to float it up for Montgomery. Montgomery being covered by Richter. Minter with possession over at the logo. He's covered by Reardon. Montgomery's going to come in from the right wing. Sophie inside. Taken up by the Lions. Jolly has it right now. He's covered by Montgomery. Give to Richter, who's covered by Cottle. Palmer has it right now. He's covered by Riley. Palmer's going to circle around and give to Reardon over in the left wing. Reardon going to circle around, charges the basket, covered by Minter, spin around, jump shot, and that one goes. How about the Lions? They're up by 8, and Gerald Montgomery will inbound the pass. Minter with the give to Montgomery. That ball is tipped. So the tip pass goes out of bounds right by the Mountaineer bench. So Mountaineers will hang on to it. We'll see a couple of substitutions, as in will come number 3, Jalen Black, the freshman from Fort Lauderdale.
And in for Piedmont, the 2 towers now, Hellenbrook and Palmer bringing up the front court. So that's going to be an interesting dynamic. We're going to see a turnover by Berea, giving the Lions possession on the offensive end.
So now the ball, I guess they forgot they still need to get the ball across the timeline in 8 seconds. Jolly has possession right now. Will take the inbound pass from Reardon as the Lions are getting set offensively. Jolly is covered by the freshman, Black. Helen Brooks also going to sub in for the Lions. He's over in the left corner with it, as is Logan Cranford. Cranford has it at the top of the key. He's going to give it to Jolly down low. Kept alive by Black. What a play! Trey Minter going to attack the basket. He ends up kicking it. And that one will go out of bounds. Trey Minter, he had a good hold of it, but his foot got in the way. He ends up kicking it, and the ball just goes careening well out of bounds. Jolly will attack the basket. Has a nifty spin to get inside, and he'll draw the foul on Jalen Black. That'll be Black's first personal and the team's first here in the first half. 13-17 left here in the first half. Lions are currently up by 8 with a chance to be up by 10 if Jolly goes 2 for 2 here. Jolly with the first free throw attempt. That one hits the front of the rim. It won't go. Still has a second shot. Substitutions on both sides. Jolly with the shot, and that one will go. So Jolly will go 1 for 2 at the line.
Lions back into their press, their full court press, trying to give the Mountaineers no space to breathe. Mountaineers do a good job breaking that press and set up on the half-court offense.
Mountaineers are getting set. Hudson's going to kick it to Black. Cottle will take a shot from behind the arc. That one's going to rim out, rebounded by Palmer. Hellenbrook has possession. He's going to tip it over to Jolly, and a feed over to Cranford over in the right wing. Cross-court feed to Reardon, who pulls up from the left post. That one doesn't go. Rebounded by Andrew Jones for Berea. Berea going the other way with it. It's Jalen Black. Tipped up by Reardon. Hellenbrook's going to come up with it, and he's going to feed it over to Jolly. Jolly attacking the bucket, gets by the freshman. Fadeaway shot. That one doesn't go. Rebounded by Kavion Hudson. Attack at the basket and a whistle blown. Kavion Hudson's going to convert the layup, and it looks like he's going to shoot 2 after the foul from Logan Cranford. Cranford will be assessed his first personal foul. Ori Clements-Owens is going to sub in for Reardon, and Devin Dean's going to sub in for Ryan Jolly. Kavion Hudson, the junior from Louisville, Kentucky, with his first free throw attempt. And that one will sink. So he converts the N1 opportunity, and now Mountaineers are down by 6. Ori Clements-Owens will take the inbound pass from Clanford as he takes it across timeline. There's a give to Hellenbrook, a give up to Dean over in the left wing. Now it's Cranford. Palmer's going to attack the basket from the left elbow. Ball's tipped around and kept alive by the Mountaineers. Mountaineers are getting set. Right now it's Montgomery. Montgomery's going to feed it right to Hudson. Give back to Montgomery. Hudson's going to drive inside. He loses track of it, and a whistle blown. It looks like it'll be another foul on Cranford. That'll be Cranford's second and the team's 4th here in the first half. And we will have a media timeout. Simon, what a start we've seen from the Lions, but now we've seen it kind of falter a little bit as the Mountaineers start to kind of come back. They've gotten a few makes so far and a couple of makes at the line. If you are Piedmont, what do you do to kind of get back into the mindset you had at the very start?
Well, for the Lions, especially on the offensive end, they have been so strong inside the interior, and so the Berea noticed that, saw that all of their buckets were coming from the lane, and decided to clamp up and dive more of their defenders inside, which as a result has locked up the interior. And so if I'm the head coach, Neely, I want to try and stretch the floor. I want to get our shooters going. I mean, you have some fantastic three-point shooters like Richter, Neardon, and Jolly, and if those guys can get going hitting some threes, then that interior is going to open right back up because you cannot let those shooters sit wide open on the arc.
The Lions offense has kind of been on a bit of a cold streak, it seems. just because we didn't see as many shots go up as we saw earlier. They're still shooting 3 of 4 from the floor. Meanwhile, for Berea, they're currently shooting 0 for 4 in their pass stretch. Hudson has possession right now. He's going to give it left to Montgomery. Montgomery with a high pass. He was looking for Anthony Ham. Ham somehow manages to stay inside the boundaries. The ball will get out of bounds, but it'll stay with Berea. Hudson with the inbound pass. He's going to give it down low. Blocked up front by Aaron Palmer. Andrew Jones trying to rise up and lay that one down. Aaron Palmer met him right at the bucket. Devin Dean tries to take in the pass. But Bryce Riley, a little too physical, ends up buying Devin Dean. This isn't football, my friend. This is college basketball. Cranford will inbound the pass and give it to Ori Clements Owens. Owens looking for the signal from Neely to see how they get set offensively. Here's a give to Palmer and a wraparound for Cranford. Dean has it right now. Dean loses it after it goes off of a foot. Cranford has it right now at the top of the key, able to hang on to it. Owens from the top of the key, pump fake, shakes a man loose. Cranford over the right wing, 2 seconds, 1 second. Floater draws contact, and Cranford will go to the line to shoot 2.
Great use of the pump fake for Clemens Owens. That it was allowed for him to attack second offender, finding the open man, which resulted in Cranford getting that shot up. He's looking to convert 2 at the line, increase their lead to 8. They've been great on the defensive end. They've become a little stagnant on the offensive end as the first one drops for Cranford. And all they need to start to do is just make some of those open shots. They've been given a few opportunities but are yet to knock them down. So if those start falling, this offense is going to hit another gear.
Cranford goes 2 for 2 from the line. Now the Lions are shooting 3 or 4 from the line. They're up 15-7 on the Mountaineers right now. Inbound pass from Montgomery. It gets over to Ham. Ham tries to feed it to Hudson. It's intercepted by Dean. Dean with the feed to Owens. Owens with the alley-oop for Hellenbrook, and Hellenbrook gets the finish with the alley-oop layup. Nice little lay-in, and the Lions are up by 10. Close off on Hudson. Hudson loses it. A scramble for the ball, and a whistle as we have a jump ball. Berea struggling to get out of their own defensive zone.
Amazing sequence by the Lions, and you saw how quickly they were able to move from that defensive pressure all the way into the offense. 2 quick passes led to a lay-in for Hellenbrook, and that is something that they are so accustomed to doing, is switching from defense to offense, and that never-ending pressure is definitely being felt by Berea right now.
Well, the Mountaineers need to get in the offensive zone, and they do off of the inbound pass. Montgomery has it right now at the top of the key. He's going to feed it right to Cottle. Now a feed to Mackey over in the right corner. Mackey give back to Kyle. Kyle's going to try and drive inside and feed down low. Intercepted by Devin Dean. Ryan Jolly has it right now. He's going to give it over to Owens over in the right wing. Owens circling around, feeds it down low to Palmer. Palmer has a size advantage down low. Doesn't get the lay-in to go. It'll be rebounded by Minter for the Mountaineers, and Minter will take it across the timeline. Minter and the Mountaineers getting set offensively. The starting 5 from earlier currently out there on the floor. Here's a give to Mackey. Mackey covered by Hellenbrook. A give over to Cottle. Minter in the right corner. Good time to drive inside. It's knocked free. Dean has it, able to save it from going out of bounds, and he gets it to Jolly. Jolly will take it across the timeline as the Lions get set. Owens will pull it from the right wing. That one hits the back of the rim, rebounded by Cottle. A give over to Minter, who takes it up the right timeline. Minter will pull it from the right wing. Bam! Trey Minter, ice cold as he pulls up from the right wing. And now the Mountaineers are down by 7. Jolly a feed inside over to Palmer. Palmer keeps alive as he gets over to Hellenbrook. Dean attacking the basket. Spin of cycle, and he gets the finish. Devin Dean already his 3rd bucket. He now has 6. Leads the team in points. Montgomery attacking the basket. He's going to run into Palmer. It looks like Palmer's going to be called for a blocking foul. That will be Palmer's 1st and the team's 5th. Andrew Stimson will sub in, as will Noah Reardon. So Palmer and Owens will sub out. Almost the original starting 5 from earlier. Hellenbrook's out there in place of Richter. Minter will inbound the pass for the Mountaineers. He's looking for Cottle. Mistimes the pass. Cottle manages to keep it alive as Cottle and Reardon both go careening into the Mountaineers bench. Both players appear to be okay. Looked like Cottle was trying to slam that ball off of Reardon to maintain possession. I don't know if he was successful. Possession will go to the Lions. It looks like Cottle was not successful. So Reardon will inbound the pass. It looks like Reardon might have banged his elbow as he checks it out. He looks like he's good. Good old self-diagnosis. A give over to Jolly, who's covered by Montgomery. Jolly's going to attack and back out. Jolly circling around and give over to Reardon in the left wing. Now a give to Simpson in the left corner. Simpson's going to circle around and give to Reardon in the right wing. Stimson over to the top of the key. He's going to circle around. A feed in for Devin Dean. Mistimes that pass just a little bit. It's intercepted by Minter as he takes it the other way for the Mountaineers. Minter's going to back out as the offense gets set for Berea. He's going to give that one to Jarrell Montgomery. Mackey pulls up from the left wing. Bam! A pair of lasers from downtown as Mackey and Minter cut a Lions lead from 10 down to 6.
Berea's three-point shooting finally getting started. They're now shooting just 2 for 7, but was started 0 for 5, so a couple late threes here is helping their offense get going once again.
Jolly has it right now. He's going to kick it out to Hellenbrook. Hellenbrook's going to attack the basket and get the lay-in. Big Joe Hellenbrook able to lay in to get his second bucket. Lions are back up by 8. Riley will pull up from the left wing. Bam! Such moxie from this Berea Mountaineers offense. Back-to-back-to-back threes. Reardon with the give over to Jolly. Jolly at the top of the key. He's going to attack the bucket. He's going to give it over to Reardon. Reardon with a turnaround. Jay! That one just rims out. Kept alive? No! Isaac Cottle just lands on that back line. Looks like possession will go back to the Lions, and we will have an immediate timeout on the floor. Be a 20-second timeout. Lions currently up by 5, 21-16 with 7:35 left here in the first half. What has stood out? I mean, the Lions are finding some way to get shots to go down. Is it the combination of the mid-range with the deep balls and the attacking underneath the bucket?
It's mostly just interior presence. Berea struggling to keep them outside, and a lot of transition buckets has been helping the Lions, but ultimately just their presence in the interior is so strong now that Berea has no answer. And to point out, I talked about how good of a three-point shooting group that Piedmont was, and looking at their stats, they have 1 attempt and it hasn't fallen. So not shooting from deep is incredible when they're seeing this much success from the interior, because that just, I mean, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. Obviously, you go back to that old
that obviously says something, though, because we've seen the Lions able to heat up from deep before. We definitely know that they can hit them from deep. So seeing the offense teaming the way it is, do you kind of stick with what you're going, or do you kind of try to infuse the 3-ball a little bit more just because you have a little bit of an identity in that?
If I'm Coach Neely, I am thinking to myself, they are yet to shut down the interior. I am 100% just going to keep working on it, and if they start to limit our interior looks, as Jolly gets a look inside once again and just misses underneath the rim. But to answer your question, I think you don't start shooting threes unless they're wide open, because the inside has just been working so well for them.
So the missed shot by Jolly. Call will get the rebound as the Mountaineers get set offensively. Martin has it right now as he attacks it. A good feed inside to Joe Montgomery. Montgomery trying to get the finish, covered by Reardon. He can't. Looks like the ball goes off of Noah Reardon as he's trying to get the rebound, so possession will stay with the Mountaineers, and the shot clock will currently reset as they are now looking at 20 seconds on the shot clock. Montgomery, she's going to get that one deep into Cottle. Cottle to Riley, who pulls up for 3. Bam! Bryce Riley, oh my goodness. 4 straight threes for the Mountaineers, and it turns this into a 2-point lead for the Lions. Jolly with the give over to Stimson. Stimson in the right wing. He's going to give it over to Richter in the left wing. Reardon has it right now in the left corner. He's feeding it down low to Devin Dean. Dean going to get called for a shove. And it looks like that will be Dean's second foul and the team's sixth. Actually, correction, that will be Dean's first personal and the team's sixth. Trey Minter has it for the Mountaineers as he takes it across the timeline. Gerald Montgomery now over at the top of the key as he attacks the bucket. He's going to kick it out to Mackey, who pulls up from the right corner, and bam! Oh my goodness! 5 straight threes from downtown for the Mountaineers, and now they have a 1-point lead here at Cave Arena. Jolly going to drive inside and pull up for 3 from Stimson. Bam! 6 straight threes, it seems like. Oh my gosh! Andrew Stimson, cold as ice as he sinks that one, and the Lions able to regain the lead. They give over to Montgomery in the left corner. Montgomery's going to attack the basket. He's covered by Reardon. Almost gets called for a traveling. What a block by Devin Dean, flying out of nowhere like an angel. A guardian angel protecting the bucket.
We talked about his lack of height in terms of being in the front court, but my goodness, what he lacks tonight, he makes up in vertical.
Oh my gosh. Montgomery able to get the lane. That's his second bucket. The assist will be credited to Minter. That's his first assist. Lions getting set offensively. Now it's a tied game. Richter's going to drive inside. Taken away by Riley. That looked like a little stutter step there. No call there. Cottle put for 3. That one doesn't go. Still no points for Isaac Cottle, which is surprising because he's the team's second leading scorer this season. Reardon gets the pass over in the right wing. He'll pull up for 3. That one doesn't go. Rebounded by the Mountaineers, and it looks like the Mountaineers will slow things down as Trey Minter will walk it across the timeline. We're approaching 5 minutes left here in the first half. Minter gets it down low, and it looks like he'll draw the foul on Andrew Stimson as Trey Minter able to get in excellent position right underneath the bucket. That would be Stimson's first and the team's 7th. And Trey Minter will go to shoot 2. A lot of fouls we've seen from Piedmont so far. 17 fouls for them here in this first half. Meanwhile, for the Mountaineers, a lonesome 3 fouls. Which is surprising because both teams have shot about 4 free throws up to this point. Lions have made 3. Meanwhile, the Mountaineers have missed 3. Martin now here on his second free throw attempt. That one will sink.
That is the cost of being such an aggressive defensive team like the Lions are. You are sometimes subject to gaining a ton of team fouls. Today no different with 7, but the Lions need to find an answer on offense. They seem to be sputtering a little bit, which has been struggling, but this man.
Stimson will pull up from the right wing for 3. That one doesn't go, but it's rebounded by Palmer. Stimson able to hang on to the ferocious hot pass. Richter wide open from deep. Bam! Will Richter from downtown. And the Lions are back up by 2. 4.5 minutes left here in the first half. Minter takes it across the timeline as the Mountaineers get set. A kick out to Hudson. Now a give over to Mackey, who pulls up for 3. That one is just short, and that's one of the first misses we've seen from deep in a while for the Mountaineers. Jolly gets the feed, and Jolly gets the finish as he lays it up and in. And now the Lions are back up by 4. Once again, a 2-possession lead for the Lions. Kavion Hudson still needs to take it across the timeline. And he gets it over to Minter. Mountaineers are getting set. Bryce Riley going to attack the bucket. Can't get the finish. Rebounded by Andrew Stimson of the Lions. There's a feed up to Jolly. Jolly will pull up for 3 from the left wing. That one won't go. Rebounded by Riley. Riley will give it over to Hudson. Hudson will walk it across the line as he gives it over to Minter. Minter will pull up from above the charity stripe. That one doesn't go, but it's rebounded by Jolly. Jolly, a give up, and it's actually deflected. A feed over to Aaron Palmer! Aaron Palmer with the one-handed jam! AP! What a flush! And that just electrified this Cave Arena crowd as the Lions are up by 6. Minter will pull up for 3 from deep. That one's short, rebounded by Palmer. A give over to Jolly as he takes it across the timeline. Simon, have you ever seen a player just rise up and flush it down like that?
Absolutely fantastic athletic play by Aaron Palmer. 3, good by Richter. Great job to stretch the floor. He's coming alive now late in the first half. We're going to see a timeout called by Berea. Lions found their offense and have been on fire, increasing their lead up to 9. 34-25 is the score in favor of the Lions. Cave Arena is loving what's going on right now.
And how can you not? Will Richter, a perfect 2 for 2 from behind the arc right now. He's heating up. I would dare say Richter's looking radioactive out there. Whew, oh my goodness. I think my heart's going to stop. 3 minutes exactly left here in the first half. The Lions are up by 9. We have a timeout on the floor. It'll be the first media timeout. 30 seconds. Looks like it'll be assessed to Berea. That's their second timeout. And their second 30-second timeout. Oh my goodness, Simon. Let's keep it here. Let's kind of break this down. Looking at the rebound total, so far for Berea, they have more offensive rebounds. They lead in offensive rebounds by 1, 4-3. Meanwhile, the Lions are leading it defensively, 13-12 as far as defensive rebounds are concerned. So the rebound battle is neck and neck.
So the biggest difference maker between these two teams is definitely the three-point shooting. And obviously Berea opened up the game hitting their threes, and we alluded to Piedmont only having 1 attempt midway through that first half, and all of a sudden they increased it 6 more attempts. 3 of them have hit. 50% in that stretch is extremely impressive, and that opens up opportunities for players like Stimson and Aaron Palmer to drive into the lane. Aaron Jolly having a field day setting up his teammates as the Lions look to continue their offensive pressure.
As we get started yet again, Kavion Hudson has it right now for Berea. He's over at the top of the key. You give over to Isaac Connell. Connell still no points up to this point. The feed down low to Gerald Montgomery. Montgomery will step away. That one hits the front of the rim. Rebounded by Jolly. Jolly going the other way with it now. That's his 5th rebound and 5th defensive rebound. Sends it from the top of the key. He's going to give it over to Richter over in the left wing. Jolly now at the top of the key. He's going to feed it down low to Palmer. Palmer looking for Richter, goes off the head of Isaac Connell. I guess that's one way to get your head in the game. Mountaineers have possession as Montgomery will walk it across the timeline. So we're approaching final 2 minutes here in the first half. Montgomery kicking to left to Connell. Connell attacking the basket. A pump fake just hesitates Palmer just a little bit, gets the separation he needs to sink it and get his first bucket, and that's actually a pretty nifty way to get your first bucket. Jolly with possession right now as he and Reardon are playing hot potato. Richter pulls up from the left wing for 3. It's rebounded by Isaac Cottle. Cottle will give over to Montgomery as the Mountaineers take it across the timeline. Final 90 seconds approaching here in the first half. Hudson will pull up from above the charity stripe. That one just sinks easily. Lions up by 5. Looking to gain some separation before halftime. Jolly double teamed right now, and a give back over to Reardon over on the left side. Reardon, actually Simpson will pull up from the right elbow. That one doesn't go, but it's rebounded by Tyler Boggs. Mountaineers getting set. Right now it's Kavion Hudson. Give over to Hudson. Hudson pulls up for 3 and splash. Bam! Kavion Hudson steps up and sinks it from right at the top of the key, and that takes us to a 2-point Lions lead as we're approaching the last 40 seconds. Richter over in the left corner, looking for the no-look pass to Reardon in the right corner. Stimson to Reardon, who pulls up for 3 from the right wing. That one hits the front of the rim, rebounded by Boggs. We give over to Montgomery. Montgomery walks across the timeline, under 30 seconds left here in the first half. Montgomery will hold it over at the Lions logo. Hudson over to Mackey. Actually, correction, that's not Mackey. That's actually Anthony Ham. Hudson. A feed left to Montgomery. Back to Hudson. So we're approaching the final 5 seconds. Hudson pulls up for 3 again. Steps up and pulls up from the top of the key yet again. Oh my goodness, the moxie to step into the defense and sink the 3. Back-to-back shots go down like that for Berea, and now Berea a 1-point lead with 3.5 seconds left here in the first half. Simon, what do you draw up if you're the Lions and you try to regain the lead going into halftime?
Well, with 3 seconds left, as we saw yesterday against Covenant, they are able to create a decent chance from full court. Stimson, likely to be the one inbounding, has the full range of the sideline to move, and Jolly, Richter, Reardon can all stretch the floor and hit a three if need be. So a good chance for them to get a solid three-point or potentially even a two-point attempt with these 3.5 seconds remaining. Interesting to see how Berea plays this themselves, whether or not they're going to zone press or just stick man-to-man.
Well, it looks like they're going man-to-man so far, and I will say this. You've seen Coach Neely draw up some impressive miracle plays. We'll see if he has something in the books. Palmer is stripped away by Riley. Riley throws it up. That one had no chance of going, but what an aggressive play by Bryce Riley to pick off the inbound pass and prevent any kind of last-second shot for Piedmont. So now going into halftime, Berea, they turn a 10-point deficit into a 1-point lead going into halftime here on Alumni Day here in Cave Arena. And I've been giving this handy-dandy sheet to say during halftime, it's a Piedmont halftime script. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would like to recognize the 2022 Piedmont softball team as they are presented their USA South championship rings by Piedmont's new president, Marshall Kreiser. Last season, the Lady Lions captured their second straight USA South title, besting Wesleyan in a 2-game sweep in the championship series. Piedmont was selected to the NCAA DePauw Regional, marking a third consecutive NCAA appearance. Now join us in congratulating the following members of the team as they are given their championship rings.
While pursuing her master's degree, in her season with Nottingham Trent University, Amari helped the team to the national trophy and an undefeated regular season. Congratulations to Amari on all of your continued success, and thank you for your contribution while here at Piedmont University.
Actually, here's what we're actually going to start with. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to midcourt as Piedmont head coach Jamie Purdy and former assistant coach Brad Cochran present former Piedmont women's basketball star Amari Price with a commemorative game ball. Price started for 4 seasons with the Lions, helping the team to 3 USA South championships during her run. She left Demers as the program's all-time leader in points and assists and was named USA South Player of the Year and USA South Tournament MVP in 2019. After graduating from Piedmont in 2020, Price continued to live out her dream, playing professionally in the United Kingdom for a pair of teams, Nottingham Trent University and a national team, the Derby Trailblazers, while pursuing her master's degree. In her season with Nottingham Trent University, Amari helped the team to the national trophy and an undefeated regular season. Congratulations to Amari on all your continued success. And now we will honor the softball team. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would like to recognize the 2022 Piedmont softball team as they are presented their USA South championship trophies by Piedmont's new president, Marshall Kreiser. Last season, the Lady Lions captured their second straight USA South title, besting Wesleyan in a 2-game sweep in the championship series. Piedmont was selected to the NCAA DePauw Regional, making a third consecutive NCAA appearance. Now join us in congratulating the following members of the team as they are given their championship rings. Macy Allen, Jenna Broach, Hannah Calloway, Lexi Chitwood, Madison Henry, Caitlin Isley, Jasmine Lowry, Martina Malik, Emma McBrayer, Hannah Morgan, Hartley Netvo, Lindsay Partlow, Michaela Casada, Hannah Smith, Megan Steinmeier, Kara Taylor, Faith Vento, and Kenny Votava. And now the athletes themselves would like to share a few words and a few special presentations. We would like to dedicate these 3 rings to Gabby Lauder, John Delph Montgomery, and April Ackeridge. These three people helped our team through many ups and downs last year. Gabby helped us through many physical injuries, while April guided us spiritually throughout our season. Coach Delph was a huge help with strengthening us, as well as recovery days after games. We are so thankful to have their constant support. End quote, as the three walk up and are presented with their rings.
And now, give it up for head coach Terry Martin.
And of course, one final round of applause for head coach of Piedmont softball, Terry Martin. Let's hear it one more time for your 2022 Piedmont softball team. A round of applause all around in Cave Arena. Simon, very rarely do you see such repeated success as you have from this Piedmont women's softball team. They truly do have something special. And hey, we might be looking at a possible dynasty for Piedmont, and that is fantastic when you are a D3 school and you're seeing such fantastic success from a program.
Fantastic display of dominance have the softball team displayed, and frankly, it is exciting to be a Lion today and for the future with such a strong core of softball and so many other promising sports on the come up as well.
Well, that was a fun little halftime special honoring two incredibly special moments. One for Amari Price, Piedmont alum, and who can forget the ring presentation for the championship 2022 Piedmont softball team. But now, let's shift things back to basketball. The Lions, they were up by 10, now find themselves down by 1 going into halftime. Where did we see the change?
Lions gave up a 10-0 run to conclude the half. 3 minutes they went without scoring a single bucket. Massive concern initially heading into the break for them because their offense caught fire. Timeout was called by Berea, and all of a sudden they couldn't hit a single basket. It was a little concerning to see, and on the other end of the court, Berea began to shoot lights out from deep. They're currently shooting a strong 44% from 3, which is a great percentage to have. Actually better than their total field goal percentage. And they have just been shooting lights out thus far. Most of the analytical stats haven't been super different. I mean, personal fouls, there's a gap, but other than that, turnover battle between 1, rebound battle between 1, 3-point battle.
Statistical gap. How about the 3-point shooting? Because, oh my goodness, did that get hot late for Berea. It started off and they couldn't hit a single thing. Then they come out of the half having made 7 shots from behind the arc, going 7 of 16. Here's the issue if you're Berea, though. The 3-point shooting is accounting for over half of your makes so far. And it's risky when you're generating so much of your offense from there. Half of your shots are coming from behind the arc, as are half of your makes coming from behind the arc. You're basically shooting a little under 50% right now. They're currently shooting 7 of 16. So if you're Berea, do you maybe look to kind of slow things down a little bit? Obviously, you know you can hit it from behind the arc, but it's a little risky relying on that when you're living and dying behind the arc.
I don't think in this situation they need to stray away from the 3. I mean, it's clearly working. They're able to break the 2-1-2 zone that Piedmont keeps throwing at them because those wing shooters are given those open looks for 3. Now, if they start missing, if they put up the first 5 and they only hit 1 per se, I would start to look inside a little bit more. But with such a strong interior presence that Piedmont has, if you're knocking down those 3s, you continue to shoot it. There's no point in changing a game plan if it's working. And so you saw this in the NBA a few years ago with the Houston Rockets. They lived and died by the 3 and made their way all the way to the conference finals. So it's not a strategy that isn't unknown. It's not a strategy that isn't proven to succeed. It's just whether or not those 3-pointers will fall. And as of right now, they are definitely falling.
Well, as we go into halftime, we have about 7 minutes, and that's a good time to take a quick break because we've been talking for a long time. So we're going to take a quick break. We have about 6.5 minutes until the start of the second half. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. Welcome back, Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. About a minute left until the start of the second half. I just smelled some popcorn and now I'm hungry, but I'll say this, there are some players out there who look pretty hungry right now. Only one player has double-digit points right now, and that's Kevion Hudson over on the Berea side. The Lions, they were up by 10 at one point. Now they're down by 1, heading into halftime. Actually coming out of halftime now. No big deal, but what do the Lions need to do if they're going to come out here with a win by outscoring Berea here in the second half?
Yeah, definitely not a time yet to hit the panic button. Obviously, coming off of a 10-0 run isn't something you love heading into the locker room, but it's just a 1-point deficit. There's no point in hanging your head, and this group of guys, all of them are contributing to the point tally, has been an offensive weapon, and they just need to start getting that ball in the hoop, and the easiest way to do that is to utilize their ability to cut and move and be so proactive on that offensive end. They seem to stagnate just a little bit towards the end of the half, and I think that's what limited them, but if they can get back to their identity of being super fast-paced, they're definitely going to be able to be a threatening group on the offensive end.
Lions will start with the ball. Reardon will inbound the pass to Jolly, and Jolly will take it across the timeline as we are underway. Starting 5 from the first half or the starting 5 for the second half. Richter with the pump fake. He's going to feed it down low to Stimson over in the right post. Give back to Richter. Richter going to give it to Jolly up top. Now feed down low to Devin Dean. He's triple team. He's going to retreat. Cross-court pass to Richter. Richter pulls up for 3. Bam! Will Richter, what a way to start the second half. Will Richter, he was struggling a little bit in pregame from shooting from behind the arc. He hasn't been struggling when the clock got started. He's 3 of 4 from behind the arc right now.
Huge three-point threat is Richter, a man who will not shy away from any chance to pull it, grabs the board there as the Lions close out another defensive possession.
Isaac Cottle, only 1 bucket so far. He's second in the team's points so far this season. Reardon's going to be hit from behind as he takes the shot, and you can hear the outrage looking for a foul call. Martin's going to pull it for 3 going the other way. Devin Dean tries to handle it, ends up doing the splits, and the ball gets away with him. As it just so, I'm not really sure how you can describe that, just leaks away from him as it goes past that end line. So possession will stay with Berea. Trey Martin will inbound the pass to Bryce Riley. Gerald Montgomery, a feed back to Riley. Riley with the kick out, intercepted by Richter. Richter's going to get it to Dean. Lions coming the other way with it now. Devin Dean attacking the bucket. Devin Dean rejected up front as that ball goes into the side of the rim. Riley closed off by Jolly. Mountaineers able to get it across the timeline. Right now it's Gerald Montgomery. He's covered by Reardon. 18.5 left here in the second half. Montgomery attacking the bucket. He's going to kick it out to the right to Mackey. Mackey driving inside. That one doesn't go as Devin Dean is there. But Bryce Riley able to get the rebound and able to get the putback to go as now it's even up at 37-all. Jolly attacking the bucket. Tip in by Devin Dean, but it doesn't go. Rebounded by Cottle. And Trey Martin now with a head of steam going the other way. He's covered by Stimson. And Trey Martin gets the finish with the D right in his face.
Tough finish from Martin, able to close that possession out. And on the other end, the Lions as a three-point attempt. Bang in by Richter. Another three-pointer for him. He's up to 4 on the night.
Oh my
A three-point specialist has come alive, activating this Lions offense from behind the arc.
Will Richter 4 of 5 from behind the arc right now, and oh my goodness, he's getting hotter than a hot pocket out there. Ball stolen by Jolly. Jolly without behind the pass. The back pass, he finds Stimson, and Stimson will get the finish, but we do have a whistle as Ryan Jolly will run into Isaac Cottle. Foul will be on Isaac Cottle. Cottle will be called with the blocking foul. Actually, no, Jolly will be called with the foul. It'll be his first personal. And it doesn't look like they will count the bucket by Stimson. So possession will go back to the Mountaineers, and that seems like a bit of a gift. Mackey getting set for the Mountaineers. He's going to drive inside, attacking the bucket. And what an elegant finish as the ball just rests on the rim before falling inside. Ryan Jolly with possession of the ball right now for the Lions. They're down by 1. Jolly attacking the bucket. He's looking for the kick out to Stimson. He finds it. Stimson with the give to Reardon. Reardon attacking the bucket, going for the lay-in. no foul called as Reardon seems to take once again, a bit of contact as he's trying to go for that lay-in. Martin has it for, correction, Minter has it for the Mountaineers, and there's a give to Montgomery. Montgomery's covered by Reardon. Montgomery's going to attack the bucket, spin around, give over to Mackey. Mackey covered by Ricker. Now Cottle he's covered by Jolly. Cottle able to get around. Cottle not able to get it to go as he smacks the padding. I never heard that before. Stimson's going to fall line. He's going to call a timeout, and that might be a good call to kind of slow things down. Lions are still down by 1. 16-19 left here in the second half.
Lions need a bit of a mental breather outside of Richter hitting those few threes. The rest of the Lions have struggled a little bit to get the offense going. Great interior presence by Berea thus far in the second half, and if Piedmont can't figure out a way to get those layups going once again, get their presence felt on the inside, then they're going to slowly start to see their close lead crumble.
Lions heating up from behind the arc so far. That's kind of a trend that we weren't really expecting to come right out of the gate. So if you're the Lions, you're coming out aggressively, you're shooting the ball from behind the arc, and you're incredibly gutsy as far as offense is concerned. How do you kind of find a way to pull away? Because right now you're keep evening up with your opponent.
Sorry, what?
Sorry.
Music is very loud in here.
I was just saying, how do you pull ahead when it seems like you're continuing to get stuck, continuing to get even up with your team?
Yeah, I mean, it all starts on the defensive end. Defense wins championships, one of the most famous quotes of all time. And if they can shut down Berea's dynamic attack, specifically them driving in and trying to draw these fouls, getting to the line, then they are going to have trouble with setting up their own offensive opportunities. We're yet to see the defense come alive, especially in their full court press. They got a lot of steals initially, but at this point, a little bit more of a dormant defensive start for Piedmont. So interesting how Neely is going to set up the defense here on out.
Jolly trying to feed Reardon inside. That pass a little too hot, a little too much Texas Pete on that pass. Minter has it for the Mountaineers. He actually has 8 points right now. Now give over to Mackey in the right wing. Mackey's going to work his way over, and now he's circling around, and the handoff over to Cottle. Give to Montgomery in the right wing. Cottle has it in the right wing as Cottle's going to give it back to Montgomery. Montgomery attacking the basket now. Reardon's there, and there's a foul called. Looks like that foul will go on Noah Reardon. A little too physical on Montgomery trying to get that finish.
Team second, here in the under 16 media timeout here in
Media timeout on the floor. Reardon will be assessed the second personal foul. Now will be the team's second, as Montgomery will go to shoot 2, but we're going to have a timeout on the floor. We might as well take it with him, Simon. You're listening to Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. Welcome back, Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. Matt Kudrowski and Simon Johnstone here in Cave Arena. Lions and Mountaineers fighting back and forth so far. Lions were down at 1 at halftime. They're currently still down by 1 with 15:45 left here in the second half. And Gerald Montgomery for the Mountaineers, currently a chance to go to the line and shoot 2 to possibly extend this Mountaineers lead. Here's Montgomery with the first free throw, and that one sinks. Now, usually in these Piedmont home events, you usually see the Piedmont men's lacrosse team lining up in the face of the opposing team during their free throws. They're not here today. They're actually on the road over at Birmingham Southern College, all the way in Birmingham, Alabama, for a game they had at 2 p.m. earlier today. Montgomery will convert both free throws as Jolly will take it across the timeline for the Lions. They're down by 3. Dean going to attack the basket, gives to Reardon wide open in the left corner. Bam! Noah Reardon evens it up. You cannot leave Noah Reardon alone like that. He was alone on an island.
And that's exactly what the Lions need to start doing, penetrating inside. Great job by Devin Dean to do so, drawing that extra defender, opening up Reardon for the corner. Great tip pass and steal for the Lions. They come back the other way.
Jolly feeds it underneath for Dean. Dean with the pump fake. He's going to draw the foul. And Devin Dean will now go to shoot 2 as the Lions now have a chance to regain the lead and possibly break this tie and turn it into a 2-point lead. Foul will go on Andrew Jones. Will be his first and the team's first here in the second half. Devin Dean with the first of his 2 free throws. First free throw will not go. Still has a second chance. Dean here with the second free throw. That one doesn't go either. Rebounded by Jones for the Mountaineers. Hudson's going to take it across the timeline for the Mountaineers. He's going to attack the basket. He's covered by Jolly, and he'll stop and retreat. A give over to Montgomery over in the right wing, and now another handoff over to Minter at the top of the key. Minter covered by Dean. Minter got a little scared there. Thought he lost control for a second. Minter attacking the bucket. Is physical as he tries to get that lay-in. Can't get it to go. Lions were going the other way, but it's intercepted by Kavion Hudson of the Mountaineers. Hudson will take it the other way. Hudson attacking. Hudson currently leads the team in points right now. He has 11. He's also the only other player not named Will Richter who has double-digit points in this game. Riley will pull for 3 from the right wing. High bounce out the rim. Stays alive, and then it goes, and now we have a foul. Looks like it'll go on Kavion Hudson, grabbing the arm of Noah Reardon as he was trying to go for the rebound. Actually, correction. That'll go on Andrew Jones, which will be his second and the team's second. Reardon will inbound the pass for Ryan Jolly, and the Lions will get set offensively. 14 minutes left here in the second half. Tie game, 43-all. Jolly with the feed down to Devin Dean. Dean with a kick out to Stimson for 3 for the right wing. Bam! Andrew Stimson. The Lions are hot from behind the arc.
Lions have absolutely come alive here from beyond the arc. You could see more players getting incorporated. Stimson, now his second 3. Richter hitting more than just 2, and Reardon himself getting involved beyond the arc. That is a scary sight for the Mountaineers to witness.
Jones will pull from behind there from the right wing. That one doesn't go. It's rebounded by Devin Dean, who rises up and takes it down with one hand. Devin Dean attacking the basket. Oh my gosh, I forgot how to English for a second there. Richter ended up tipping it over to Stimson. Stimson had a chance at another 3 opportunity in the left corner. He ends up deciding to attack the basket instead. I need to figure out which I want to say, basket or bucket. It's not a bucket or a busket.
You could combine them and say bucket or basket.
Okay. Stimson will miss that first free throw attempt. Lions up by 3. A chance to make it 2 possessions and make it 4. Stimson can convert this second free throw, and he doesn't. Back-to-back chances for the Lions with 2 free throw attempts, both of them going 0 for 2. So the Lions have missed the past 4 free throw attempts, and that could be a problem. Cottle pulls up for 3 for the right wing. Bam! Isaac Cottle finally gets his second bucket. He's now 2 for 9 from the floor. That's his first look to go down from downtown. He's 1 for 4 from outside, too. Jolly with the turnaround J. That one goes after he gets some separation.
Jolly, such a smooth jump shot, able to generate points in every area of the floor. Turnaround jumpers, mid-range, 3-pointers, you name it, he's got it. Mountaineers getting set offensively. Right now it's Kavion Hudson. He's going to
work his way around the key, gives it over to Montgomery. Montgomery's going to pull it from the top of the key, and bam! Gerald Montgomery turns a 2-point deficit into a 1-point lead for the Mountaineers. 12:20 left here in the second half. Reardon, a feed over to Richter. Richter down low to Stimson. Get back to Richter, who pulls up for three for the left corner. That one hits the front of the rim. Reardon tries to go in for the rebound. Oh my gosh, it wasn't Montgomery, that was Ham able to come up with it and keep it alive for the Mountaineers. Montgomery with the gift to Hudson. Hudson's going to go over to Cottle. Ham over to Hudson, over to Montgomery in the right wing. Montgomery pulls up for three yet again. That one doesn't go this time, rebounded by Devin Dean. Dean going the other way for the Lions with a head of steam. A kick out to Reardon, wide open for the right corner for three. That one doesn't go, but he gets his own rebound. Reardon attacking and a foul called. It looks like it was a reach-in on Isaac Cottle. Cottle's going to argue it, and the ref's like, nah, fam, you're getting that call. Isaac Cottle is going to be called for his second and the team's fourth here in the second half, and we're going to have the second media timeout here on the floor. Simon Johnstone, what is catching your eye? Because it seems like a lot's happening on the floor right now.
It is. It's just been a half of runs for the Lions. You've seen a couple three-point spurts, a few layups dropping, and they've been able to keep up with Berea. And Berea on the other end of the floor, well, they're scoring to keep it close. Nothing flashy, no streaks from them, just consistent buckets. And this lead has been neck and neck for most of the half. Obviously, second half started with a ridiculous run, and it has been tight ever since the beginning of the second half. So it's going to be an interesting final 11 minutes, and don't know what direction this is going to go. Both teams shooting well, both teams defending fairly well. So it's going to come down to who wants it more and who's going to have that little bit of a push towards the end of the game.
We mentioned earlier how the Lions are heating up from downtown right now, shooting 4 of 6 from behind the arc here in the second half. Meanwhile, for the Mountaineers, they're a perfect 2 for 2 so far. Actually, correction, I was looking at free throws for a second there. No, the Mountaineers are currently 2 for 6 from behind the arc so far in this game. So once again, the possible slow start from behind the arc, but they do seem to be heating up. Lions getting started offensively. Jolly with the high pass to Hellenbrook. Aaron Palmer, the big man, will pull up from downtown. That one goes off the front of the rim, rebounded by Hudson for the Mountaineers. Hudson with the fake pass actually goes to Trey Minter this time. Hudson over in the right wing. He's going to circle around, gives to Cottle. Cottle to Ham. Ham pulls up from the left wing. That one doesn't go. Fight for the rebound. It goes into the hands of Joe Hellenbrook for the Lions. A give to Jolly, who takes it across the timeline. Jolly from the top of the key, going to drive inside. A feed down low to Palmer. Palmer attacks the basket, and he's got it. Aaron Palmer with the turnaround lay-in. As that one goes down, the Lions now have a 1-point lead. With just under 11 minutes left in the second half.
That is a scary height disparity that Aaron Palmer has. His advantage down low is so extreme, and if he can keep utilizing that, he is going to be a threat down low. Great drive in from Trey Minter, getting himself another bucket.
And that's his, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's his first bucket we've seen from him here in the second half. He now has 10 points, shooting 4 of 9 from the floor. Ryan Jolly with it now. He's going to give it over to Logan Cranford. Cranford going to back out and attack the basket yet again. Give down low to Hellenbrook. Hellenbrook gets the finish. You were talking about the height disparity. Hellenbrook, another large man that the Lions can boast about having. And the timeout called on the floor. There'll be a second timeout for Piedmont. 30-second timeout. Lions now up by 1. And when you're in this position now it's okay if the Lions go back and forth for a bit, as long as they're staying at this 1-point lead kind of comfortable area. So what do the Lions need to do to kind of hang on to this 1-point lead?
Lions need to try and shut down the interior for Berea. Although they had a couple bigs, and they still keep Palmer and Hellenbrook in, Berea Mountaineers have been able to cut inside and generate a few easy layups and floaters, as we saw last possession with Trey Minter. there needs to be some sort of interior presence that Berea is feeling so that they won't try and get inside. Maybe a few blocks, maybe a few defensive steals, something to make Berea think twice because they are moving so confidently on the offensive end right now.
Hudson feeding it down low to Riley. Riley attacking the basket! Riley gets the finish and draws the foul. Foul will be on Joe Hellenbrook. That's his first and the team's third here in the second half. Riley will make the free throw, so he converts the and one opportunity, and now Mountaineers up by 2. Jolly takes it across the timeline, gives it to Cranford, and now a feed over to Palmer. A handoff over to Jolly. Jolly pulls up for 3. That one doesn't go. Rebounded by Trey Minter. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of Jolly taking that shot. I mean, granted, you are down by 2. I guess why not take that shot? But you're starting to run the risk of hurting yourself at that point. Riley pulls up from the left wing, and that one will go bam. Oh my goodness, these Mountaineers are absolutely splashing them home from downtown. Aaron Palmer has it now down low, turnaround Jay, that one goes in. Aaron Palmer, the aggressive presence down low in the paint, brings it back to a 3-point deficit as we approach the final 9 minutes of the second half.
Great feel by Palmer to generate more points. He's been doing that now time and time again down low, and utilizing his height is such a good thing to do. Berea continuously stretching the floor, though. That one's going to be knocked down by Isaac Caudill. They are once again catching fire from deep.
And that's Caudill's second bucket that we've seen from him downtown tonight in this half alone. His third bucket of the day, and that couldn't come in a better time. Trey Martinet will get a hand on it, tips into the hands of Kavion Hudson. Hudson tries to get the lay-in. It's rebounded by Hellenbrook. Cranford now with the head of steam. He finds Stimson. Stimson! Does he keep it in? No, he doesn't. I thought Andrew Stimson might have just kept that in, but no. It will be deemed out of bounds. Berea will have possession as Trey Minter will inbound the pass to, I can only assume, Kavion Hudson. And lo and behold, that's exactly what happens. Hudson will take it across the timeline. Kick right to Mackey. Minter now has in the left wing. Lions in the press defense right now. Connell will pull up for 3. That one has no chance. Rebounded by Stimson. Ryan Jolly will take it across the timeline. Jolly attacking the bucket. Jolly drawing the foul. Jolly can't get the finish. But Ryan Jolly will go to shoot 2. That foul will be on Marquise Mackey, his first and the team's 5th. And now we have another immediate timeout. 6-point deficit for the Lions right now. And ordinarily that wouldn't be much of an issue, but this is the largest lead that the Mountaineers have had this entire game. Cause for concern?
A little bit, I would say. Not because of their offensive presence, but rather defensively. They've been unable to shut down this potent Berea offense, and frankly, it's hard to have an answer for a team that's able to stretch the floor with so many strong shooters. As we saw, Caudill hit 1, Trey Minter is able to stretch it a little bit, and of course, the big man himself, Bryce Riley, has been lights out from deep. I believe it was him that hit a couple initially, and so you have to figure out how to limit the 3-point arc while also not giving up too much of an interior presence. And on the offensive end, well, I feel like they're getting good looks. It's not like they're pulling up stupid shots. They're not, rushing anything in the shot clock, but they're just not falling. So if those shots start to fall, I think the narrative is going to shift significantly. But as it stands right now, something has to change on the offensive end, and maybe it just requires a couple of free throws knocked down by Ryan Jolly to jumpstart this offense.
It's been the tale of two halves as far as free throws are concerned. The Lions went 3 for 4 in that first half. Currently have not made a single free throw here in the second half. Currently 0 for 4. Meanwhile, on the other side for Berea, they went 2 of 5 in the first half. A perfect 3 for 3 so far here in the second half. So far, the no-make pattern here in the second half continues as Jolly misses that first free throw. If Jolly can just go 1 of 2, that would be enough to just kind of hopefully get the ball rolling. And Jolly will make that one and bounces off the schnoz of Isaac Cottle. Cottle will inbound the pass and give it to Kavion Hudson. Hudson will take it across the timeline for Berea. They give over to Mincer. Hudson's going to attack it and give it over to the right corner to Mackey. Mackey feed out to Cottle. Cottle from the right post. That one goes. Going to see if it goes down as a 2 or 3. It goes down as a 3. So Isaac Cottle, a very slow start, only 2 points in the first half. Now he has 9 here in the second half alone. Looking at 11 points. Devin Dean now gets a good feed down low underneath the bucket, and he'll get the finish underneath the bucket as now the Lions are down by 5. Cottle for the Mountaineers. The feed over to Riley. Riley down low to Hudson. Hudson finds an open lane, and he gets the finish with Ryan Jolly in front of him. 7 minutes now. Lions are down by 8. No, not 8. Yes, 8. My math checks out. Hallenbrook will pull up from above the charity stripe. It's rebounded by Cottle. It's not so much that the Lions really need points as much as they really need a stop right now, because right now if you're Berea, it just seems like whatever you're putting up is going down. Minter for 3. That one hits the front of the rim. And now Cottle will get the offensive rebound. Minter again from 3 on the left corner. That time it goes. And first you don't succeed, try again. Mountaineers now up by 10, the largest lead by far in this game. Jolly pulls it for 3 from the top of the arc, and bam! Ryan Jolly! My 3 and then yours.
Great job by Ryan Jolly to negate the 3, but as we talked about earlier, Berea content with living and dying by the 3, and they are living for sure. They've hit so many 3s this game, and they're north of 11 to 12 to 13, I believe, is a total at this point on made 3-pointers. So an absolute threat from deep anytime they catch the ball.
Riley now in the right wing. He'll pull up for the right wing. That one doesn't go as it goes high off of the back of the iron. Cranford's going to get fouled as it looks like it was Mackey who tried to make a play there. It'll be an over the back. It'll go down as Mackey's second and the team's second. As Reardon will sub in for Cranford, who might need to go get a quick little ice pack from the team's physician. Reardon will inbound the pass to Jolly. Jolly will walk it across the timeline as we approach the last 5.5 minutes here in the second half. Jolly with the feed to Devin Dean. Dean attacking the basket. Give to Richter. Richter pulls up. Bam! Will Richter. I don't know if it was a 3 or not. It was kind of close to the line. I'll look for the official determination in the live stats. It'll go down as a deep 2. Richter now has 14 points. Mackey over in the right wing. He'll give it over to Minter. Minter from the top of the key. He'll drive inside and feed down low to Montgomery and give back to Minter. Pulls up for 3. And bam! Trey Minter. Oh my gosh!
Berea's offense non-stop here towards the end of the second half, and if the Lions can't figure out a way to get them off the 3-point line, this lead is going to continuously grow. The Lions have been great on offense, don't get me wrong, but if they can't shut down the 3-point threat that is basically everyone in a white jersey today, this lead is not going anywhere for the Mountaineers.
Right now, the Lions down by 7. 5 minutes left here in regulation. And this half has just seemed to be going the Mountaineers' way. They've already matched their first half total. Meanwhile, for the Lions, still kind of struggling, only 29. I don't know why I'm saying only 29 points here in the second half. 5 points shy of what they got in the first half. They're going to need some more shots to go down if they're going to close in on this gap. But the place where I think the Lions really need to see some points go down is the charity stripe. They have 5 misses here in the second half. Jolly with a give over to Jolly. Reardon. Dean driving inside. Dean with the spinorama. Dean with the finish. Isaac Connell tried to draw the charge there. Ends up falling flat on his back and no whistle. Mackey with the give to Montgomery. Montgomery attacking the basket. Montgomery going to kick it out to Minter. Minter over to the top of the key. He's closed off by Reardon and Richter. Minter driving inside. He's going to give it over to Connell for three. Bam! Isaac Connell from the left wing. That one goes down. The three-pointers just continue to go down, and unless Berea starts to keep missing them, Piedmont's not going to come back. The feed down low for Dean. That one goes through his hands. Possession goes back to the Mountaineers.
Controversial opinion here, but I almost feel like Neely needs to tell his players to get out of this 2-1-2 zone, because they are giving these wing threes every opportunity to shoot it because of the way it's structured. And so look at this, another corner three potential. And so if these Mountaineers aren't getting thrown off of the three-point arc, they're just going to get into the lane and score some easy buckets. So I almost want to see them shift man-to-man, because that's the only way you can really guarantee no open men shooting threes.
Reardon has it now for the Lions. The Lions just need something, any kind of answer. Reardon attacking the basket. Reardon converting the layup, and Reardon drawing the foul, and they have one opportunity for Noah Reardon. We need something big. That is pretty big. And I think it ignites a little extra energy back here in Cave Arena. The foul will be on Marquise Mackey. It's his third and the team's seventh. So by now, Lions have the bonus, meaning every foul here on out will result in free throws, but that's if they can make them. They've only made one here in the second half, and they've had 6 opportunities to make them.
It's been a brutal showing at the line for the Lions, and those are the shots that will keep you up at night, because no one's hindering you. You get 10 full seconds to shoot a free throw. No one's you have no pressure in the world in terms of defensive presence. So those shots need to be converted, and anytime you're shooting, you want to have a team average hovering around 70%. Well, in this game, they're shooting a scary 34%. So they need to figure out how to knock down the rest of their free throws, because that's going to be the easiest entryway back into this game. Not only are they getting points on the board, but the clock stops every time they're shooting free throws. So that is how you get yourself back in this game while saving time. And let's see if the Lions become more aggressive because of the time constraint that is now being presented with just 3:37 to go in this second half.
Lions have currently shot 6 for 10 from behind the arc. Do you think they stick with that, or do you think they step away from that and go back to trying to get the easy buckets down low?
I think right now they should try and go down low, try and tire out the Berea defense a little bit, and as a result, that'll open up those three-point opportunities. Great convert by Reardon to finish his and one play, but yeah, to answer your question, they should 100% look to get inside a little bit more and draw some more fouls, get players in foul trouble potentially.
Berea getting set offensively. Right now is Trey Minter. He's going to feed that one right to Marquise Mackey. Mackey over to Gerald Montgomery at the top of the key. Give over to Bryce Riley over in the left wing. Cottle now in the left corner. He's attacking the bucket. He's covered by Jolly. Cottle with the turnaround J, and that one goes in, and this might be the Isaac Cottle we were expecting to see tonight. Jolly, the handoff to Richter. Feed over to Stimson. Now Reardon over in the left wing. Give to Richter at the top of the arc. Reardon attacking the bucket. Reardon getting the finish. Noah Reardon attacking the bucket yet again, and once again getting another layup. Lions are down by 7 with 2:43 left here in regulation. Cottle, give right to Mackey. Oh, Devin Dean almost tried to pick that one off. Bryce Riley attacking, and a whistle called. That foul will go on Ryan Jolly. Be his second and the team's fourth. And you mentioned earlier that Piedmont should probably try to attack down low, or at the very least draw fouls, and I tend to agree, because given the fact that the Lions had the bonus, any kind of foul will just result in free throws.
And not only that, but like we harped on a little bit earlier, it stops the clock. So with just around 2:30 to go. It is imperative that they push the tempo. 7-point deficit they're staring at with a lot of offensive firepower needed to bring this comeback.
Jolly attacking the bucket. A kick out to Stimson, a whistle blown. It will go down as a travel call. And you can hear the outrage here in Cave Arena. The disdain from the Piedmont faithful. Minter's going to take it across the timeline. Give over to Mackey over in the right wing. Mackey's going to circle around and give to Riley and give to Montgomery over in the left corner. Montgomery attacking, give to Cottle in the left wing. Cottle with the three. That one doesn't go. Lions get the rebound. A good chance to get some points, close this gap a little bit. Reardon to Jolly. Jolly at the top of the key, a feed down low to Devin Dean. Devin Dean attacking the bucket. Spinorama, turnaround Jay. That one just rims out. Come on, that is just so cruel. The very least that shot could have at least done is at least fall.
Nothing going in for the Lions. Their defense has come alive. They're becoming more of a presence on that end, but they are not getting points to close the gap. It is still standing at 7 points, just a little under 90 seconds to go in this game, and we may be nearing the panic button stage where they're going to have to throw up a couple early shots, look for three-pointers. They have those shooters in. Reardon, Richter, Jolly can make them. Stimson can make them. So with all those players in, you have to think they're going to start pulling threes. But on the other end, they need to shut down these defensive possessions quickly. Otherwise, Berea is just going to keep running out the clock until they're in the bonus.
Berea with possession right now. Gerald Montgomery's going to inbound the pass. He finds Trey Minner over in the defensive zone. Give back to Montgomery. Pass is tipped. Falls back into the hands of Montgomery. Montgomery's triple team to give over to Cottle. Cottle to Minter. Minter trying to attack the bucket. A kick out to Mackey. Mackey pulls up for three from the left corner. Bam! Marquise Mackey, and that three just kills the crowd here in Cave Arena. I've never heard so many people in this arena be so quiet. Jolly for three. That one hits the rim. High bounce, rebounded by Cottle. Give over to Trey Minner. Minner covered by Stimson. Minner gets across the timeline looking for Montgomery. Montgomery tries to save it. Is it kept alive? No. Reardon tries to make a play, ends up sliding into the announcer's table. Possession stays with the Mountaineers, and Montgomery will inbound the pass. Will also wipe up a bit of the perspiration as it falls on the hardwood. Minter will inbound the pass for the Mountaineers. 38 seconds left. A give to Cottle, who's covered up by Jolly. 13 seconds, whistle blown. And a foul called on Ryan Jolly. His third, team's sixth. And Berea one foul away from the bonus. Devin Dean will sub out. I'm not exactly sure why. He's been generating a lot of the offense, being very tenacious up front, able to get down low, but Joe Hellenbrook will come in his place. Trey Martin able to get it to Cottle. Cottle tries to get it to Riley. Foul called. And it looks like Riley will go to shoot two. That one will go on Joe Hellenbrook. It's his second in the team's seventh. As now Berea finally gets that double bonus.
And it just feels like there's frankly no hope left for Piedmont. It was a little bit of an offensive struggle here today that cost them the game. They were within one for the majority of the second half, and then when the offense began to sputter and Berea's seemingly came to life where they could not miss from behind the arc, well, that's a recipe for disaster for the Lions, and just unable to make a comeback when it mattered most from beyond the arc. A couple unlucky shots not falling, and as a result, they're staring at an 11-point, potential 12-point deficit with just 30 seconds to go.
Riley with the free throw. That one goes, so he converts both. Lions are down by 12. Jolly has it, Jolly loses it, Jolly regains it, Jolly takes it across the timeline. Jolly attacks the bucket. Jolly gets the finish. 20 seconds left. Whistle blown. Timeout called. A 10-point deficit with 20 seconds. It seems impossible.
We've seen Tracy McGrady, 13 points in 30-something seconds?
Anything can happen.
In an historical situation, maybe, but Berea has played a complete game where they have been smart for the most part, not many turnovers to their name, and they are going to do everything they can to run out this clock for the last 20 seconds. I'm assuming Neely may implore his players to do fouls, but I don't understand exactly what the timeout's for, because frankly you basically have to ask your players, hey, go for steals, be aggressive, but you can't ask them to foul because that's helping Berea in every way possible. So interesting timeout call, but we'll see what comes out of it.
Both teams will take the hardwood, possibly for the last time. 20 seconds left to go here in the game. Lions are still down by 10. Riley's going to inbound the pass. He's looking deep for Montgomery. Montgomery gets it. He's fouled by Reardon. Bryce Riley looked like Patrick Mahomes out there. Just a quick reminder, the Super Bowl is this Sunday.
Tomorrow.
Actually, yeah. Well, yeah, Sunday would be tomorrow. Chiefs, Eagles. Should be an exciting game. I'm excited to see it. My Eagles are playing. They're my team. I'm excited to see them play in the Super Bowl. Last time I saw them in the Super Bowl, well, turned out pretty good, I'd say.
The legendary run of Nick Foles will go down in history with
Nick
the Philly
Foley
special.
Dynamite, if you will. Montgomery will convert the first free throw. That brings it back up to an 11-point lead with 18 seconds left. Cave Arena silenced as Berea just comes in. And they took care of business today. That is about all you can really say. Montgomery will convert the second, so he goes 2 for 2. Lions are down by 12. Jolly takes across the timeline. A give to Richter. Richter to Simpson. Simpson pulls up for 3. That one doesn't go. Ball hits the line. 8 seconds left. I think that's all she wrote.
Not
Kenyon
enough
Hudson,
clock.
a give to Riley, and it looks like Berea will just dribble this out. As Berea will stand and give a round of applause to their opponent. It was a hard-fought game. The Lions kept it close at halftime, but Berea, they just knew how to run away with it. Those threes that they missed in the first half, they weren't really missing in the second half, and so as a result, Berea comes out on top here in Cave Arena on Alumni Day. It'll improve Berea's record to now 14-9 with a conference record of 6-4. Meanwhile, for Piedmont, they fall to an even 12-12. And 5-6 in conference, and that hurts because the Lions only have one more game left before the start of the CCS tournament, and it will be against the now #1 team in the conference, Maryville. That game will be on Saturday, February 18th at 4 p.m. back here in Cave Arena. Well, Simon, before we break things off, let's kind of talk about this game a little bit more, because this was an incredibly impressive game for Berea, and they never strayed away from the 3-ball, which is surprising.
Berea looked fantastic in that second half. They concluded that first half with that 10-0 run. That definitely gave them so much fire and excitement heading into the break and heading out into the second half. And we talked about whether or not it would have been wise to live and die by the 3, and well, they put up 33 attempts. 15 of those fell, shooting a strong 46% from 3. That is a scary statistic to look at. They converted everywhere they needed to. A decent showing from the field overall at 48%. 75% from the line is a great team average. And you look at the stats for the Lions on the other hand, and, you know, field goals were decent, 50%. But the biggest problem for me is that free throw percentage. Just 2 of 7 in the second half, 45% overall of the game. So dropping those important free points, in a sense, and dropping the opportunities to chip away at the lead and stay closer than 10 points kind of cost them in the long run.
Here's something else that just is a bit unsettling for me. All the points for Berea came from the same people. It came from the same 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people, and all 6 of the players that put up points had double-digit point totals at the end of this game. On top of that, we saw a double-double for Isaac Cottle, 15 points and 10 rebounds. He had a slow start, and then he just woke up second half. It was actually pretty outstanding. But Trey Minter led the team in scoring 18 points. He was by far the game's leading scorer. Shot 7 of 13, 3 of 7 from behind the arc, which it felt like he made a lot more from behind the arc than just that. But just you're right, a complete game for Berea, and that's shocking because the Lions had a better shooting percentage. The Lions shot 29 to 58, and Berea only had 1 additional make from the floor. But it really does all come back to those makes from the line. The Mountaineers shot 9 of 12 from the line. Meanwhile, for the Lions, shooting 5 of 11. I don't know what else there is to say. The Lions, they did all that they could, but it just seemed like at the end the shots just wouldn't fall for them.
Yeah, just a tough loss. One that's going to really hit the heart for sure, especially dropping it at home in Cave Arena on Alumni Day makes that no better. But
kind of sours the taste of this crowd.
A fantastic performance from Berea overall, as you touched on, and frankly, something that Berea's going to have a lot of momentum heading into their next game. I don't know who their matchup is, but the way they played today and the shooting that they displayed, they're comfortable in any gym, not just their home. So we are in for a treat come the CCS. A lot of teams are contesting for that top spot. It's a very tight race all up and down, so we will see how that shakes out in a couple weeks. But for tonight, just an unfortunate loss for Piedmont.
That is going to be the 3rd loss at home for Piedmont. For anyone who's curious, Berea did win the rebounding battle, 7 offensive rebounds versus 4 rebounds for Piedmont, and 27 defensive rebounds versus 26 defensive rebounds for Piedmont. So Berea it just seems like they were winning in pretty much all facets. Points off of turnovers, steals, the turnover battle, they were cleaner. The rebounding battle, obviously the point differentials, but I'm at a loss for words as to just how complete of a performance this was for the Mountaineers. And hats off to them. They played a hard-fought game. They played extremely well. And if you are the Lions, you got to pick your head back up because you have one more game before the start of the CCS tournament. Quarterfinals start February 21st on Tuesday. We'll find out whether or not the Lions get to host a game during this tournament. But that's going to have to wrap it up here from Cave Arena. Before I go, I do want to give a quick shout out. Happy birthday to Henry Nelms all the way in Cleveland, Georgia. The big 6 years old. Now to actually say goodnight here from Cave Arena, from Matt Kudrowski, Simon Johnstone, Kelsey Scandrel working the camera for us all day today. Great job to her. We really appreciate all that she's done. And Danielle Percival and her amazing staff. We couldn't do what we do without her. Good night from Cave Arena. Happy Alumni Day. And we will see you all next time. Good night.